Hey everybody, and welcome to the next game that I'm going to play, which is Legend of Grimrock 2. You might be a little bit surprised to see this game, but this game, the first one, the first Legend of Grimrock, was actually the very first small success on my channel. Back in 2012, March, I played the first one, and at that time I had less than 50 subscribers. Ha, how things have changed, huh? But this was the first game or Let's Play that I did where videos got more than 100 views, and I considered it actually a success since I got more views than I had subscribers. And I had a lot of fun with it as well. It was a very old school type RPG, even though I never experienced those types of RPGs because I didn't have a PC that could handle those back in the day when I was a kid. But I really enjoyed the game. And this sequel, I cannot wait to play. It came to me as a complete surprise. I knew that the first one was a success, but I didn't know that a part 2 was in the making. And about a week ago, it popped out on Steam, and I got surprised, but was very excited at the same time. I mean, it should show you something that I'm excited for this small indie game when it's coming out between all these big blockbuster titles. Let's get into the game. Last time we had, of course, these 4 epic heroes that we made. I was thinking of maybe making the same heroes again, but I decided to go, since this is a new, setting a new storyline, I will actually, make different characters. So, here we go. So we got a new prisoner. So we will call him, obviously, Kanoa. He is the human. Looks a little bit like me, I guess. Portrait type. What is this? Oh. Alright, so we will be a human, and we will be farmer. What is this? Health 30. Energy, fighter, health 60. Melee weapons, a knight. Ah, look at this. A wizard, though. Yeah, you know what? We will be... Receive no skill points instead of slave monsters. But you gain experience by eating food. That's weird. Search attacks with melee weapons take half the time to build out. I will be a fighter. No, actually, I'm not really a fighter. I'm a battle mage. Okay, dexterity is willpower affects the amount of energy points gained in first and subsequent levels. Vitality affects the amount of health. Improves the speed at which you naturally heal. How many points do we have? None. Dexterity. Most melee weapons. Since I'm a battle mage, I do have some melee stuff. Willpower's a lot more important, though. We got some resistance. We got trade. Oh, here we go. So, okay, here we go. Okay, I'm pretty much evasive. Let's see. Natural armor. Oh, I'm a fast learner. You can experience point damage bonuses in addition to experience bonus. Sweet. Alright, I am quite a fast learner, I would say myself. Now, in terms of other stuff, missile weapons, throwing, accuracy, so you have all of these things. It goes really deep. Obviously, I love fire magic always, so we're going to put a point into that. And then as well, oh, I can, let's see, concentrate. I'm pretty concentrated. Yeah. So that is energy restoration. Here we have another one. We will have a human female to join us. Actually, I don't know. What other? This is mental rattling. Ugh. Obviously, we will have Shiraki at our side. She will actually be the knight. She will be the femme fatale. Vitality will be high. Strength will be high. There we go. Trait. Aggressive. Damage +4. And that is what we're talking about. And cold-blooded is... No. No. Healthy. Exceptionally healthy. Vitality +2. That is... Oh, no, wait. Actually, tough. Resistant to physical punishment. Health +20. That is what we're talking about. Heavy weapons. Increased damage of heavy weapons. So, yes. We will put points into that. And also armor, since she will have that. Now, we will get into an insectoid, because last time we had Mysore. Mysore was a wizard, so we will have another one. He will be called Gemini. And if you get that reference in terms of Mysore, you are awesome. Now, he is a Gemini. Now, I'm pretty sure that insectoids are not the ideal for fucking, well, vitality, yeah. But I don't care. He's going to be that guy. He really, well, actually, we're going to have a rogue, though. Quick. Say that's cool. Poison resistance. Why not? Actually, natural armor. Your skin's very thick. Now we're going to have a rogue. We had a minotaur. Oh wait, actually, hold on. A portrait. Look at this. This one's cool. Now we had a Mysore, but I made him a fighter. We don't have it now. I'm going to make a ratling. We're going to have Master Splinter. He's going to join us. It's this guy. Yes. Splinter lost his turtles. And he is going to be a rogue. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Effectual ricochet and efficient damage to deal with missile weapons. Now, he will melee weapons. He will use a dagger. Actually, no, he will be on the forefront. But he will not have a lot of health. That is the thing. He will, be agile. Exactly. Dodge will go up. And light weapons will go up as well. And now we will start the game. Let's do this. Oh no. Gemini, I'm so sorry. Wait, who is... Oh my god, here. So... I did fire magic already, so we're going to do... Earth magic here. I don't know. Alchemy. Alright guys, so the game crashed. It has just come out just about a half an hour ago, and I have to say, it is kind of unstable. I tried to save it at the first saving point, and it crashed. I only played for about 20 minutes, but since I now know kind of what's going on, I can do that faster. So, let me just say that this intro is already a lot flashier than the intro in the first one. You begin actually outside, where in the first one, it was all inside. Kind of repetitive in terms of environment, and I have to say that they definitely have cranked that up here, because you start out on a beach. It's bright day, not dark, but I know for a fact that we will eventually get into dark forests, get into the dungeons again, but like I said, it's just very unstable at the moment, which is kind of a shame. Now, the battling system is real-time, but it's turn-based, which means that I can move around in real-time. It is on a grid system, though, but my characters will have to wait for a cooldown every time that they attack. So it can be compared to Final Fantasy XII in terms of the attack system. It is very cool though. We have 4 characters, 2 on the front row, 2 on the back row, which means that the 2 in the front row will hit most, or will get most of the hits, whereas the one in the back will be able to evade more. But because of this, for example, they will not be able to hit you with daggers from the back. Legend of Grimrock 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yep, that's a classic right there. And it is very old school, very hardcore, but I'm in love with this gameplay. I don't know why. It really explores, or enjoys exploring. So the game looks gorgeous, let me just say that. Very different feeling. But also very familiar at the same time. So here you can see everything. All these hand movements are in action. So I just picked up that stick what was here, and I gave it to Konoha as a weapon. You can see the Konoha and Shiriki are in the front, and they will take most of the hits. They will actually be able to hit people with melee weapons. Now we open this, and now we can actually move around. Now in the first game, this was all inside dungeons, and basically you had this very clear grid system, these tiles that you move over, and as you can see now, even though we still have the grid, it is not as visible as it was then. If you open the map though, it is, as you can see here. It's like a fucking chessboard. So I just picked up a rock. I gave that to Splinter. He can throw that, or he can put it down if he wants to. This is some fruit. I will give that to Konoha. We can eat that. There is actually hunger in the game. You can see that here. And there's also weight that you need to take into account. Now, the weapon that I give to Konoha is a stick. Obviously not too powerful, but for example, we can cut through grass and make new areas appear. Here we have the first armor. It is only tormented, and it gives protection +1. But since Shiraki obviously is the fighter and she has more HP and protection than Konoha, I want to load out Konoha first, since these two will be getting most of the hits. Now Splinter obviously has a lot of evasive points that I put into him, so he should not really rely on health too much, but more on evading attacks. Now there are secrets sometimes in the environment as well, secret buttons or whatever, so you need to keep an eye out for that. Here we get our second weapon, the bone, which is also not ideal, but at least it does more damage than your flat hand does. Here we continue. And here we have our first enemy, which is a turtle. Very cool looking enemy indeed. In the very first Grimrock, you were fighting snails, and usually the first enemies are kind of slow, and as you can see, I am dodging this turtle around, and he drops some food, some turtle steak, which I can later use. And that is actually how you kind of play it, where you're kiting the turtle or the enemies and try to attack them from the side or in the back. Now the turtles, the first enemies in these games, obviously are kind of slow, kind of predictable in terms of their movements. This will change though later, as you will probably be facing up with spiders. And there we get a critical, that's good. With spiders, demons, enemies that can attack from a distance, that will have things like poison attacks. These kind of charge. But what is very cool, and you haven't seen it yet, but I had it happen when I played it first, before it crashed, is these enemies will actually flee if they're only one hit away from dying. And that is something that we didn't see in the very first Grimrock. So that is kind of an interesting AI decision, that they will run away from you when they're almost about to die, which might be very dangerous, since they will lead you, or they will get reinforcements alerted. And the last thing that you want in this game is to actually get backed up. In fact, a funny thing is that when I played it, the turtle ran away and actually ran to here, and we found a secret inside. Inside we get shoes, which I immediately will give to Konoha. We found a torch, which we will only need if we go actually into dark places like a forest or a dungeon, so we don't need it right now. And some regular food. Now, as I said before, the first game was very dark, very eerie, and as you can see, that is definitely not the case right here, and it is a very, very welcome addition. I really love it. Oh, here we go again, though. So we just picked up some darts, which is a distance weapon. Now, I didn't put any points into distance, though, so it's not too effective, but as you can see, the bones themselves are actually not too effective. Shiraki is the only one with actually a lot of points into melee damage, so she absolutely fucking rocks it. When she does it, she does a lot of damage, where only Konoha and everybody else does about 3 damage. She just did a critical of... Where is... Okay, we picked it up again automatically, that's good. She did a critical of 35 damage. We're picking up another egg, which is of course for nutrition. Nutrition will not be a problem at the moment. Oh, actually, hold on. There is a key that we need to get here. Now, there are a lot of puzzles here in this game, and I managed in the very first one, I managed to get all the way through until the last level without looking up a hint. So I hope to get my revenge here, or revenge, and to complete the game actually without looking up anything. Here you can hear in the distance, probably on the other side of these rocks, of thing of what's to come. Some nasty looking things. Let's use this key. Open the door. And go through. So now it gives me the hint to check the map. And here now we have pressure pads. Now the pressure pads are very simple. If I press this one, the door opens, but I cannot actually go back that way, so I have to go back here way. And this pressure pad actually closes the door. I forgot to actually equip this, which is shirt, so that we will get that on Konoha. So you can actually throw a rock, and that will open this door. Oh god. Come on, baby. Oh, here you can now see the... Oh, no, he's not fleeing still. Pretty strong that guy was. Now, this is, what you see in the distance, a safe crystal. What we find here is, welcome to my island. I hope your journey was not too determined to your health. I think you will find this island to be the most wonderful, yet the most perilous place on Earth. I don't have high hopes about your survival, but maybe you can prove me wrong. Better equip yourself before the night falls. Now, I don't know if there's actually real-time night and day cycle, but here we have a saving crystal, and what it does is, obviously, it saves your game, but it also will completely heal your characters. Now, I don't think it will heal your hunger, but it will heal their mana, their health, and if a character dies, he will stay dead until you touch one of those crystals again. Obviously, if all 4 characters die, you will be game over, but if you only lost one, you can go back to one of those, touch it, and they will be revived. Now, last time when I touched it, though, the game crashed, so I'm going to actually stop the recording right before I do that. Here is a scroll, and as I made, of course, Konoha a battle mage, I put points into fire, and this is actually a fire burst scroll, a scroll of fire burst, and you can see that icon there. And what you have to do in order to actually use scrolls or use magic, you have to have at least one hand free. You press on the hand and you get these icons. Now, the scroll set to press this button, so we press it, and we haven't done it yet, so we don't know what it is. We perform the spell, and now we have learned this. And now I actually do not have to have this one in my hand, and I can just have the stick in my hand and still be able to actually attack with the magic and attack with my stick at the same time. So that is actually very handy indeed. Now, Gemini has a point in earth magic, so if we had an earth scroll, we would be able to teach him the skill, but if we had water or air, we would actually not be able to, since we haven't put any points into that. Now here we got a throwing knife that might actually be a lot better than stones, obviously. Now, I'm just going to check around for some secrets. Sometimes there are... Oh god,